What's going on? I hope you guys are having a good day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And today we have an opportunity to talk about Black wealth and the importance that Black wealth plays in what we're trying to do, not just in terms of what you might do with your stimulus package, but also activism. You know, we have police shootings and all these other things going on in the world that are making us upset. Well, economics plays a part in all of that. And so today's special guest is a brother that I respect by the name of Aaron Owens. Aaron runs an organization called Education Over Entertainment, and he's also hosting an event in the next couple of days called Spring Into Wealth. So before I begin, I want to ask my brother, how you doing today, man?
I'm great. And yourself, Dr. Boyce?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Everybody, as you come in, please greet Mr. Owens. Tell him I say hello, or tell him you said hello. So let's start with Education Over Entertainment. That name got my attention because, it sounds to me like you're talking about two pendulums, right? Education and entertainment. And I think a lot of us might have an opinion on which side a lot of people tend to focus on and how that can leave you distracted. So where does the name Education Over Entertainment come from? And what made you choose that name?
Okay, so what transpired is I'm a what they call a serial entrepreneur. So I own an insurance agency, a commercial janitorial company. I'm actually sitting in one of my facilities, which is assisted living for military veterans. I do commercial real estate, bail bonds, and event planning, and a couple other things that I invest in. But one of the biggest things that's important to me is legacy building. So what I wanted to do is build something for me and my children, and something that they could take over. Like everything is about life. It's not what you have, it's what you keep and pass on to the next generation. So I created a company called Education Over Entertainment, and it was basically built with my daughters and my youngest son. And basically what happened with the company is Education Over Entertainment is the over has three meanings. Over, one is over how we speak ethnically. Two, over is the singular of ovum, which is the female egg, which everything is produced from. And over last is my initials backwards, A.V. Owens. So in making this company with my children, we just wanted, we have shirts and stuff that we do. It started off as an apparel company. And as we grew and as I started to, I like to travel, do conferences. I came to a couple of your conferences and I said, you know what? Not only are we going to do the apparel to get the word out through clothing, we're going to also do seminars, workshops. And that's how we got to this whole Spring Into Wealth workshop with yourself.
Okay, well, I love it, man. I love it. I think it's great. So Education Over Entertainment. We know that entertainment can draw the attention of the masses pretty regularly. We know everybody's talking about the Grammys and everything else, and it almost seems to me that sometimes it seems we get a little bit hypnotized by entertainment. Right. That our celebrities end up becoming our educators. They become our politicians. They become our so-called Black leaders, and we end up getting lost because of that. Now, can you kind of speak to that in terms of, when you specifically say education over entertainment? I'm hearing a message that says, let's stop just focusing on the entertainment, right, and let's make sure that we are not a knowledgeable community. Is that a big part of the message?
Oh, exactly. Like being an insurance agent, and one of the things that I see is GoFundMe all the time, right? Like it's a new insurance policy. So when I think about that, so I did a workshop. It was called Go Fund Yourself, How to Become the Bank. And it has a lot of principles that, you talk about. It was 1, invest. 2, include real estate. 3, investigate business opportunities. 4 was incorporate a trust. And 5 was insurance, because I feel like while you're building the first 4, the insurance protects your family if something happens, So if you don't get a chance to build the other ones, you have insurance in place that can take care of the quality of life of the people that you take care of. And, so in that process, one of the things that I saw was, we like to watch Power. We like to watch Empire, the haves and the have-nots, the love and the hip-hops. But we had none of those things. We don't have power. We're not building legacies, So if I felt like if you could take an hour to watch these things, then we could take an hour to build those same things, So
wow,
that was my concept with the Education Over Entertainment. Like we tend to focus on the entertainment because it's easy. it's easy to be entertained. And like us, we were talking previously, we have people who have been out of work for a year or doing different things due to COVID and the pandemic, and we see binge watching TV. We see, what I'm saying? This has been a time to build. The government is putting things in place. They're putting things in place for businesses. And if we had those things, this would be the time to build, because you're getting financed through some means of some, and you made it through, So, and then one of the last things I like to say is, like, as I was coming up, and I'm about your age, one of the things that they always say was, like, you had to pay taxes, be black, and die. And so what I've seen recently, we got people who have been able to manipulate the tax system, whether it's the president or some of the richest people in the world. We've seen people who've been able to change their skin color through bleaching and other situations. But death has a 100% completion rate. So my thing is, there's two consistencies in life. That's death and change. And we just got to be prepared for both of them. And that's kind of where the whole message came from, with the education over entertainment.
Oh, well, I really like that a lot. And I think most of us agree, because I'm gonna tell you, the people that are watching are builders, the people that are watching are people that get the message. So to some extent, we end up talking a little bit to the choir, but then again, though, even if you're a person that has the right mindset and knows what you need to do, it's easy for all of us to get off track. When I started losing weight, it was very easy for me to be tempted to go back to my old life, And I think that there is a reason to preach to the choir. And but you're talking to the talented 10th. You're really talking to people in the chat that are already building for their families. If you're a builder and you're building for your family, put a yes in the chat. Type the word builder. How about that? Builder. Put the word builder in the chat. If you've been building for your family, if this year you made money for investing in stocks, put builder in the chat. If you are a person that has insurance where you're not going to die, leaving a GoFundMe. I think that's kind of crazy, but then again, though, it's just one of those things where I think that's always going to happen, right? You're always going to have people that don't think about the future, don't listen, don't plan, and those people end up being conquered. So let me ask you this: you talked about activism, and you made a good point when we were talking before the interview about why we need to fund our own movements. A lot of people are running around and for good reason. I think was it Tamir Rice's mother, Michael Brown's father, have all expressed, reservations over the fact that Black Lives Matter has made somewhere around $100 million. I believe it's more than that, honestly, especially if you add up all the corporate money that went into these causes that never got to the Black community. And they called out the fact that these organizations, that they just come out of nowhere. Like somebody just creates them. Suddenly they're well-funded. Nobody knows what's going on. Then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, go vote for this candidate or whatever, right? But you were saying, that we need to fund our own movements. Can you kind of speak to that a little bit? Because I'd like for people to kind of hear your point of view on that.
Yeah, like if you look at the shirt, it says "Get change to make change," and it has some different dollar or different currency language and different faces that have experienced social injustice. And one of the things that I realize is that we're never going to get the change that we're looking for unless we can fund our own movement. It's not like you can't go to a politician and say, "Listen, I need money to get buses to take me to DC to protest." It's just not going to happen. So I feel like if we don't do things financially to change the way that we move financially, and we don't fund our own movement, we're never going to get the type of change that we're looking for. It's just not going to happen. It's nobody's going to give you money to take power away from them. And I think even on the politicians, I look at, like, I'm from Annapolis, Maryland, and I've seen a politician, council person, get elected with 300 votes. Wow. So when you look at situations like that, it doesn't take a lot of money, because if you start locally and you got money to fund different situations, you have money to make change locally, and then you get to the mayor, then you get to the governor, then it moves up. But if we don't have that type of money to fund our own movement, I thought about a few years ago when everybody was it was a thing when we stood out and stopped traffic and things like that, right? So now you got people who can't get home to their children, the people who are working or doing something, and guess what? The police officers we're protesting against the police, but now they need more police officers. So guess what? They're making overtime and triple time because they're stopping the protest. So, it's like we got to really think about what we're doing and really, put some finances behind our movement and fund ourselves. Or else I just don't feel like it's just not going to happen. Like even when we protest against, back in the day against the bus companies, and I think you might have talked about, why didn't we just buy our own buses? You know what I'm saying? Things like that, instead of always trying to be included in somebody else's system.
Everybody, I'm speaking with Mr. Aaron Owens. He runs the organization Education Over Entertainment. If you could hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Also, Aaron has an event. Speaking of funding your own, he's funding personally with his own money an event called Spring into Wealth. And in this event, I've agreed to participate. I'm very happy to participate. And he's going to have a lot of great stuff for you. And I'm going to let Aaron tell you about the event. And the URL is right there on the screen. It's springintowealth.com. And actually, you can get a discount, a 20% discount if you use the code word Dr. Watkins. So all one word, springintowealth.com. So Aaron, could you tell us about Spring into Wealth, where that concept came from, and what people would gain from attending the event?
Okay, so after, like I said, I attended a couple of your events, the All Black National Convention in Houston, the New York event, and when you did the movie presentation in Baltimore, and I was like, I wanted to bring that information back to the DMV because I like to attend. I usually, before COVID, I would attend 3 or 4 conferences a year, fly out and just get information. So in the process of putting it together, I got with Maryland Live Casino Hotel, and I felt like it was a great location because one, it allowed people to have a lot of parking, it had entertainment, and it was an opportunity. It was a nice space to, put this conference together. And Spring into Wealth came because we were doing it at the beginning of the spring. So I said, hey, why not just bring in the wealth? Because that's what the plan was. And, initially I was bringing people in, it was, you were doing like the financial Juneteenth, presentation. I felt that was exciting. I felt people would get the information and spark people to, just move in a responsible financial manner. One of the things, let me tell you, our motto is economic empowerment through financial literacy. Whether it's the church, whether it's the workshop. So I felt like you represented that to the utmost, and so I wanted to bring you in. And then the pandemic hit like a week before the event.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that.
Yep, the pandemic hit about a week before the event, so we had to cancel it. And so when I was putting it back together, I was like, you know what? I definitely think we still, your piece is going to be great. But then I thought about it. A couple years before, like I said, I had multiple businesses. I said, like, what about people are suffering financially and things are going on. So why not bring a world, somebody like my accountant who sold a bunch of businesses. And not only that, her goal is to help 1 million businesses reach 1 million through her book, through her presentation, through, online services. Why not bring on my mortgage broker who helped me buy 2 properties in 2019 and close 30, 40 loans a month? Why not bring on a young lady, Stephanie DeBerry, who you know very well?
Yes.
Who's the president of NARAB. So if people have information about real estate, and then, Brother Darius Stanton, who's one of my personal friends from elementary school, who has a retooling leadership. Community activists, my man D Chase. D Chase owns clubs, he do activism, and so he did a Freddie Gray. He's the one who put on the Freddie Gray rally that you've seen in Baltimore. He's the mayor, the new mayor's transition team. So when I thought, and then I got my person, I almost forgot it, but she's the most important to me. Having an insurance company, Marquita McNair, who's an honoring insurance financial service person, who's been top 5% honoring for the last 10 years with a major insurance brand. So I'm saying,
wow.
So when I talked about the 5I process, I wanted to bring people that could, push the 5 I's, but also encompass with what you're bringing to them from a financial, literacy component. I just felt like with the COVID, and one of the things that I keep jumping around because I don't want to miss nobody, but like Lisa Anderson, she's my business coach and she's an accountant. Her thing is she's a government liaison. Like she's a virtual CFO, and she's helped like hundreds of people, PPP, EIDL, and get forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? So there's things that people can be taught in business that could help in all these different components, along with you bringing your piece, which is always a great piece. I just felt like as COVID came in, I felt like people needed to get information in different areas along with what you were giving them. And that's how we came to the whole springing the wealth and like bring the Black Wall Street back. So we have people in the industry and leaders in the industry. You know, one of the things they say is like, your income is that of, the 5, 10 people you hang around. So when I look at that flyer and I see those 10 people and I know what their income is around about or think I know, I'm happy to be in their company. And I feel like even if people don't use their services, at least they're able to get the information to vet them to say, listen, if I do, okay, I don't live in Maryland and you don't service Maryland or DC or Virginia. You say, okay, what do I look for in a mortgage broker if I'm trying to make this financial deal in Florida or New Jersey or California? You get the opportunity to talk to these people who are leading people in their industry on a national level.
Well, I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? I think that you're right. And one of the things you were talking about that I thought was really compelling was when you talked about when people die, having to have the GoFundMes and all that. And it just seems that, and it's not making fun of those people, but it's almost like, when people talk about a wealthy mindset versus a poverty mindset, there's an acronym for POUR that stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly, which I'm sure you know about that. And so you think about things like the stimulus check coming in. A lot of people going to do a lot of stuff with those checks. Some people going to see it as an opportunity for a come up, right? And that's all mindset. So I think it's what I like about what you're doing is it really just speaks to the fact that when you say education over entertainment, what I'm thinking is that if you don't choose education over entertainment, then entertainment will become your education.
Yeah.
Like if you don't choose health food over junk food, then your junk food will be your only food.
Right.
And we know what happens when all you do is eat junk food. So everybody in the chat, if you get what I'm saying, just type a quick yes in the chat if you follow the logic here. And I want everybody to know about Aaron's event. It is this weekend. It's springintowealth.com. There's a URL on the screen. Aaron has graciously arranged for everybody on the platform to get a 20% discount. Just use the code word. Look, there's a promo code link. Hit that before you buy your ticket. Put it in and then hit apply. And the code is Dr. Watkins. The code word is Dr. Watkins, all one word. Put that in, hit apply, and then you'll watch the ticket. So Mr. Owens, I'll give you the last word, brother. Anything you want to leave us with?
Oh, yeah. You talked about the STEMI. I'll be real quick with that. Like, I was in the mall the day they started coming out, and I seen the DTLR line around the corner. It's a tennis shoe workshop place. And one of the things I want to tell people, like, hey, log on to springintowealth.com. It's going to be amazing information. You can check us out on Education Over Entertainment on Facebook and Instagram. Dr. Watkins will be on there tomorrow at 7. We're going to keep moving on and talk about the event, but it's life-changing information because some people going to get the STEMI, and let's use it to build wealth, to create legacies. It's like, I can't say it enough. Life is not what you have, it's what you keep. And, people need to understand an asset is not what you do when you sit on the couch and watch TV. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want people to understand. And I know this is preaching to the choir, but hopefully it's somebody that while they're sharing, they can get it to the next person so we can check it out. And just, it's all about building wealth in our community and funding our own movement and not waiting for somebody to give us anything. This is our opportunity. And as long as we listen to people like you and getting that information, we can all move in a better direction.
All right. Well, I love it. And so everybody, if you could give a digital thank you, a round of applause to Mr. Aaron Owens from Education Over Entertainment. His event is this weekend. It's springintowealth.com. I'm going to speak there for about 3 hours total. So you're going to get a lot of me, but you got a lot of other experts, as he mentioned, from a lot of different areas. It's a great family event. It's virtual. And so I hope to see you there. So thank you very much, brother. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Dr. Boss. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you Saturday.
For sure. I look forward to it. All right, everybody, please have a good day, and we will see you all very, very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Okay.